Okay, here we go. I got to make this really quick, so hopefully you'll get the understanding of how watching TV in my house works. Okay, you're in the living room. You got two remotes: the large remote, big one, small one. Big one works for regular over-the-air with an antenna TV and controls other things. And then the Fire Stick or the small remote will control the internet television, Fire TV, and Sling TV primarily is what I'm going to show you. All right. So first things first, on the big remote to turn on the TV and whatnot, you're only going to use really a few buttons. So here at the top left, you see the TV button. That's on and off, power button. Down here, you see volume, you see channel, up and down, either one. And then here in the middle at the top is source. That's going to get you from watching over-the-air television network to the HDMI area where you'll watch internet TV. Okay, so real quickly, let's see if we can do this. We're going to turn it on, the TV on, by pushing the TV power button there. And we are watching regular TV now, over the air. I have an antenna, right? So you'll get ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox local channels, but you will also get some of those obscure bounce network, old time TV network, whatever that's called, okay? So, and then to control it, you'll just do, you'll see the channels will change. Like that's the 21 Burns and Allen, that's an old show, right? So if you go down to like 13, right, 1, that's NBC, local NBC, all right? And you're just doing channel up and down and then volume, right? That's pretty self-explanatory. But let's say you want to watch some of my cable channels, and I subscribe to Sling. And in order to get to Sling, you need to get to the internet. And that's where you're going to use this source key here, all right? I'm going to back away just a little bit. So you're on regular air TV right now, local channels. You have this button here, and you're going to push the source button, and a screen will pop up. So here you go. And you can see, oops, it gives you three options. TV, which is what we were on, HDMI, and this doesn't matter, it's with my phone, screen mirroring, all right? It just goes away if you don't make a choice. So you push the source button. I'm too close. So it's on regular TV, and you push its source button again, and you'll see the HDMI. You push it again, will be highlighted, give it a second, and then the HDMI connection will load, and it'll say, hey, we need a signal. And that's where now the small remote comes into play. I should have gone over these buttons with you. So now you need to turn on Fire TV, Internet TV, Sling, what have you. And there's only a few buttons on here, which is great. The one in the middle looks kind of like a house. There it is. You push it, and an options page shows up. This is Amazon Fire TV. It's kind of like your internet area where you can go. There's different apps that are loaded. You can see Sling, what we're going to go to there. And then other Netflix. It allows you to, it's like a Roku if you're familiar with that, or trying to think of another one, but Roku I think most people are familiar with. All I'm going to show you today is what you need to do in order to get to watch some cable channels on Sling. Okay, so let's do the remote here real quickly. All right, it's quite simple. So we already used the home key that kind of like turns Fire TV on and off. Not really off, but this other button here is a kind of like administrative and a menu button. You don't use it very much. The button here that's like a return key that takes you back one area, one page, one channel, one app. And then at the bottom are basically remotes for like video, reverse or a rewind, fast forward, pause and play. I rarely use that. You're mostly going to use the circular button here. It's hard to see, but there is a raised circular button there, and that's basically a cursor. So if you push at the top, I'll show you in a minute, you're going to go up with the arrow, not arrow, but with the cursor, and then down if you push toward the bottom of this outer rimmed circle, all right? And then to the left, to the right, that'll move the cursor to the left, to the right. In the middle is a button, actually, a circular button that will actually, you make your choice when you're choosing what you want to enter. So you'll highlight it with the cursor here, outer button, outer circular button, and then in the middle you'll choose what you want. So here we are, we're on we're on Fire TV, Amazon Fire TV. Got your remote, and right now, it's hard to see where we are. You're at the very top of an area. It's kind of highlighted there with home. Can you see it? There it is. And if you push this remote to the right, you'll see things, it's moving to the left, right? I know it's hard for you to see, right? And then if we go back to the left, okay? So if we're on home now, and if we want to go down one, and then down again, you're pushing that circular outer button. And Sling, you can't hardly see it, is highlighted in a sense that it's larger than the other icons in its row. It's raised a little bit. So that you know that that's highlighted with its cursor, and you're going to push the inside circular button to choose it. I want to go to Sling, right? And now Sling will load, right? And here's certain all kinds of options you can have with Sling. I'm going to just do this really quickly. Right now, this little blue area is highlighted, like my channels. To add a channel, we're going to go up. And again, you're going to use this circular cursor. And you can see, you can't go up. So it went from there, and it'll move up to my TV when you go up. So now that's highlighted. And you go to the right now, all right, with this. And it moves over to on now. You're going to go to the right again, and it'll go to guide, right? And once you do guide, you're in there. If you go down cursor twice, so you'll move it once, and it'll highlight channel, and you move down a cursor again, it'll go to CNN, right? So 1, 2, right? And this now, if you scroll to the left or scroll to the right, it'll give you all the channels that are available to you in Sling. It's about 20 or so, right? So if you go to the left, I'm going to push to the left on the cursor here, right? Disney, Freeform, cartoon, travel, food, HGTV, IFC, Viceland, history, A&E, comedy, and then there's always a few, and then ESPN. And then, of course, CNN was back here, right? You get the gist of it. So, Bloomberg, to the right of CNN, kind of obscure a little bit. Is that the Weather Channel? There's a Lifetime. So, if you go back to CNN, right? Again, we're using this to scroll to the left, to the right, or up and down, right? And you see that it's highlighted. You can see that there's blue there, right? A bar. And now choose the inner circle button to choose CNN. I want to watch CNN. So you push it, it'll load, and you can you can see that CNN is loaded, right? So now you have different options. You can use this return button to go back to the prior screen menu, right? You can, if you push home, you'll kind of be kicked out of Sling. But if you use the cursor up and down, left and right, you can go back to where you were. So the first thing we'll do is let's do the returns button so you can see what happens. Goes back to the prior screen, right? And so we'll still choose CNN. And if you choose to cursor up, what will happen is it'll give you an option at the bottom. A bar comes up that says, what do you want to do? And then you can say, scroll up. If you push it up again, you're back to where that guide menu is, right? That kind of thing. I know this is a quick guide of what you're doing here, but I got to make it quick. I'm going on 10 minutes, all right? To get out of this, you can keep pushing the return button, many times, and then finally it'll say, do you want to exit it? And you'll say yes. All right, so you go exit, or you push it once, twice, 3, 4, 5, and then it'll finally pop up, and you say, you choose yes with the inside, inner circle button, and it takes you back to the Amazon screen. Here, I'm not going anywhere else with you with this. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. That's kind of it. So now, let's say, I wanted to go watch my local TV channels, right? You'd have to go back to the large remote, push the source button again. That menu at the top will be at the top of the television. So you push it, and then you're going to, I'm too close, push it again to get to where TV is highlighted. Just give it a second, and then the there's NBC, local will show, right? And then you use the channels up and down to get where you're going. Okay? All right, geez, thanks.